Hi guys, it is Sunday, July 16th. That's the second time I've had to look at my phone today. No, third time I've had to look at my phone today to tell someone what day it was. And we've been to church and I've done all the primary assignments and stuff, and I'm still, what day is it?
Day of the week.
Anyways, sorry, we've been promising you guys an update as far as what we're planning for IVF, and so here it is.
Ready?
Dash. Is that ready? Dash is like, what? Like, he's in his favorite spot.
Dash is next to us.
Hi, bud. Dash
is ready.
Looks like he's glaring at you. We love you, Dash.
Whoops.
Just don't say G-O as gonna.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah. So an update. Kind of before we give an update, just a little recap of how the year has gone for us. It's been a crazy year. Starting in December when we got the grant, that was huge. Seriously, I still kind of feel a little of that shock feeling from when we first heard about, or first learned that we were receiving this grant. What a miracle that is right there. So yeah, as with any journey with infertility, it's this roller coaster of ups and downs. And we have had a lot already in these last 6.5 months. You know, going from super excited to what feels like total tragedy and everything falling apart, to picking ourselves up. And our plan, like last year, before we even learned about this grant or that it was even going to happen, like for years, we planned for Blake to finish school. And then once he finished with his bachelor's, we were going to go for him to do his master's, get into the master's program. Well, the time came for Blake to do the master's, and the master's program is full. So it kind of feels like you say, okay, Heavenly Father, here's our plans and here's what we're going to do. And he says, okay, those are good plans. Those are great, worthy plans, but I'm going to change it. Here's something else.
A little bump in the road.
Or something better, or
hopefully something better.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, so we planned for Blake to get into the master's program, and it didn't work out for us that way. So instead, Blake ended up getting a job, and that was a huge blessing because we weren't planning on that. In fact, I was applying for some other jobs so I would have like 3-4 jobs because we really needed some money. And so Blake ended up getting this job, which really, I look back on that and I give thanks to Heavenly Father all the time for that, because it has been huge blessing for us, don't you think?
It definitely is, for
like
sure.
How it came about, I mean,
just the people I'm with, and how it came about, and who I'm with, and you know, position and whatnot. So
yeah, so it's been a really,
so far so good,
really great blessing. So on top of that, Blake will be getting insurance. So this will be the first time we will have insurance
for 3 years.
Yeah, it's been 3.5 years since we've had any kind of insurance. And so, you know, we go from, I look back just 6 months ago when we were in December and we received this grant, and I'm thinking, what in the world? Like, we are in no place ready to be trying to do IVF, or
no money, no insurance.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? And yet at the same time, how do you say no?
Right.
How do you pass up this opportunity when we have tried for 12 years? We've tried everything. We have done, you know, for those of you who've followed us through this whole journey, you know, we've done so many infertility treatments, you know, artificial inseminations, IUIs. We've done in vitro, and that one didn't take. And we've tried for adoption. We did foster care. We've everything, and it's always no. And so, you know, I look.
That's Dash.
That's Dash's butt.
Please come here.
Anyway, so I look at where we were in December, and I look how far this journey has already taken us, where we have some income coming in. We're starting to pay off some of our debt from school, and we're gonna have insurance. Like, it kind of feels like things are falling into place.
Just kind of back to normal life where you work, you have a job, and you get insurance. And
normal life for you, but like I look back on where we were, and it just feels like, I feel like we've just kind of been plopped into almost like, okay, now you're this much closer, this is where you should be, kind of thing.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah, so, and then we still have a little bit to save up for some of the meds and labs and stuff, and so we should be able to get there. But yeah, so just been really crazy. So I just feel extremely grateful. We have definitely, you know, with my dad passing, that's been a blow in a way. That was a blessing for my dad, with him having Alzheimer's. It's been a blessing for him to pass, that he didn't have to go and struggle even longer with the Alzheimer's. And for us, it really was a huge burden that was lifted off of our shoulders. And but emotionally, it's been really hard to process. And yeah, so that was a challenge that really affected me physically, and emotionally, which affected me physically too.
Yeah.
Just kind of feel like we were doing so good in February, and so I keep thinking of this little analogy. So before I met Blake, I used to go on a river trip every summer. I would go to Jackson Hole with my brother and a bunch of his friends, and we'd go camp up there for a week, and we would go down the Snake River. We'd go whitewater rafting, and it was the highlight of my summer. I loved it. And so anyways, this one time going down, there's a part on the river where you can climb up onto this cliff, and you can go cliff jumping into the water. And it's really hard to get up to that cliff. I mean, there's parts you have to crawl on your hands and knees, and there's parts where the rock kind of makes you lean out, and basically once you're up there, there is no climbing back down. You jump. And I am crazy. Like, I have brave moments because I'm terrified of heights. And yet I had a brave moment where it was like, oh, I'm the only girl who's gonna go up there and do this, and heck yeah, I'm gonna go do it. And so my whole thought process was, I'm gonna climb up this cliff, I'm gonna climb up here, and I'm just gonna run and jump off before I even have a second to think about it and, you know, psych myself out. And so I'm following some people up there, and there's a guy in front of me, and he chickens out. I mean, he didn't chicken out, but
took his time.
He was scared to jump off, so he got up there, and it took him 30 minutes before he would jump off. In the meantime, my plan to just run and jump off before I got scared, totally ruined. So I'm up there letting my fears get to me, and it was freaking me out. Eventually I did jump, and it was way fun, but I'm feeling like this IVF journey at the moment is kind of like that cliff jumping experience, because February I was feeling great, emotions are great, and I was ready to just jump right into this IVF. And there are things that happened that said, nope, I can't do it right now. And you know, there's some roadblocks that were like that guy taking his time to jump off, you know, with my dad passing, with financial things and whatnot. Just, I had to wait. And I feel like that's how this IVF has been. We have to wait. And and my fears are coming out, my anxieties are coming out.
During the waiting time.
Yes, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's getting to me. It's been really, really difficult. So I keep thinking of that, or those thoughts keep coming to my mind of that cliff jumping experience, and now it's just having to wait until it's my turn, and then we're gonna go. So anyways, our plan now is to Blake's insurance will be kicking in September, so our plan should be September, October we'll be starting our IVF. And I can't wait because I'm going crazy.
Wait for this little guy in front of you, which is me.
Oh,
Yeah, I wouldn't jump off the
it's
cliff
all your
anyways.
fault. It's always your fault, Blake.
It always is. It's always the guy's fault.
No.
Yeah.
Kinda, but no.
So, but yeah, so I'm waiting on me to get job insurance.
It's not just you.
No, but yeah. So in the
It's out of your
meantime,
control.
waiting, and then when the time comes, we'll get diving into it. September, October. That's the plan.
Something I kind of been, some other things that have been on my mind that have been kind of hard. I don't know if you want to call this a rant or I don't know. But, so, you know, I've heard, or we've had a comment, not a lot, but we've had a comment that says, you know, we're so negative. Which kind of came out of the blue because considering our circumstances this year, we've had a lot of trials, and yet we have tried so very hard to keep our head above water. I think for someone who thinks, you know, oh, we're so negative, or, you know, the first thing that goes through my head is you've obviously never gone through infertility. Something with our vlogs, they are going to be very real and truthful, honest, and this is what we're going through and this is how we're feeling.
It's not all just peaches and cream.
It's not.
Roses.
You know, when you go...
That would be nice. If
Oh my
everything
gosh.
went the way it's supposed to happen.
If it just worked like for most people,
everybody else.
everything would be fine.
Yeah.
But infertility is not for the weak. Infertility is extremely challenging, not just financially. I swear, I think infertility is the most challenging thing when it comes to every aspect. When you're talking financially, I mean, I guess there's a lot of things that can, but for us, you know, financially, emotionally, spiritually, it is extremely trying.
Also trying in your marriage too.
In your marriage and in other relationships. But it can be very trying on your relationship, let alone relationships with family and friends. We have experienced that on every level. There's been many years that family did not speak to us. We were cut off for many reasons. You know, I've been called Mrs. Unhappy because I struggle with depression, and obviously that person has no clue what it is like to struggle with depression and infertility on top of that, and the trials and struggles that we had at that time. You know, I had family telling their family just to ignore me because I struggled with depression, and it was really, really hard. And by the way, that's probably the worst thing you could do to somebody who has depression and struggles with infertility. But, you know, we have really been through quite a lot with infertility, and there were so many times that I just needed somebody to talk to and like literally really cry and express my frustrations and my heartaches and everything. I really needed somebody to listen. I needed somebody to understand. And it felt like that just never was there for me. And so, you know, in our vlogs, I hope to share the ups and the downs and be very honest, because I know that there are a lot of others out there who need the same thing, who are struggling to keep their hopes up, to stay positive. It is really hard. And I think something that I needed to hear a lot, and I hope that others know, is that they're not alone. And there are a lot of people who know and understand what we're going through, and that there's a lot of support and love and understanding. And it's, you know, when you see somebody so down, we need to do our best to lift them up. And I think that happens a lot with infertility and a lot of struggles, but it feels like when it goes on for years and years and years, I don't know, something lately seems like people have lost any kind of empathy or understanding. And I don't quite understand how people have to go through something themselves to understand how someone else is going through. Like, can you just imagine how you would feel? Can you just relate it to how you felt going through this situation or something, and be loving and kind? Because that is the greatest thing that you could do for someone who is struggling with anything, especially infertility. So sorry if you guys think that we're negative in any way, because that's not our intention, but we are struggling. There's a lot of emotions and stress. Bing, there's the clock, time's up. So I wanted to share a lot more. Like, this whole infertility journey is not just, you know, I don't know, our vlog is living life as well. There are times that we've learned to just put a smile on our face and still go and do, and because half the time people don't really want to hear your tears and heartaches and
your tears and your sad story.
Yeah. And even though there's times you're dying inside, you put a smile on your face and you go have fun. And so, you know, we've shared a lot on our vlog where it hasn't had much to do with infertility, because, or at least like with the IVF grant, because we now have a better timeline, and we're gonna focus a lot more on that, and you guys will take you through all of it when we get to do that in September or October. But we've needed to do some fun things, whether it's with family or with friends, to still enjoy life, to still have some fun and enjoy what we have, and the friendships and our relationships, and you put a smile on your face and keep going. I've learned after 12 years, just slap that smile on your face and there you go.
Just like that.
Has been for me. Anyway, so just wanted to thank you all for sticking with us throughout our journey so far. I can't believe it's already been 6 months, and
we're in almost August, well, middle of July.
I know, a couple months, you guys. In a couple months, I feel like it's going by so slow, and yet the time is already. It's gonna come really quick. Like, all of a sudden it'll just be here. And so just some things that I'm feeling now. I'm terrified. Just to kind of update a little bit too, the last couple weeks, at least for me, have been really rough. I mean, we went up for the 4th of July, and then, so I feel really stupid sharing this. However, I'm gonna share it because this is what I've done this year. So I was feeling super good, feeling really well with everything, and so I started tapering off of my antidepressants. Well, I went too far. I tapered off too far. And in fact, I went so low on my antidepressants that all of a sudden I just stopped caring about everything, and I didn't take anything. I wasn't taking any supplements. I wasn't taking any of my antidepressants at all, and I crashed really, really hard. So the 4th of July was really fun, but I came home and hit a wall. I crashed. I could not get myself out of bed. I was backed, like my fears and anxieties for this IVF just hit so hard. And I spent many days in tears, crying with my mom, talking with her while Blake was at work, and trying to work through all of this. And for me, with depression, when my depression hits, I have zero energy. In fact, like I literally cannot pull myself out of bed, and I just want to sleep all the time. And so the last couple weeks have been extremely challenging because I could not get myself up. I would get up and get my day job done, and I've been trying to work a little photography as far as editing, but it has been extremely challenging. And so I remember telling my mom, like, oh my gosh, I just need a freaking tranquilizer. Like, I'm tired of feeling these emotions, and I'm tired. I hate depression, you know, and when people say, you know, oh, just be happy, or you choose to be happy, they have no idea how depression is, because nobody likes going through depression. Nobody likes feeling that way. You don't choose to feel like that. And it is really, really hard when you feel stuck in those emotions. And I remember telling my mom, I just feel like I just need a tranquilizer, just put me out of this. And I was like, well, that was really dumb, Ange, because that's what your antidepressants are, is basically a tranquilizer at this moment to kind of get you through this. So I'm back on my antidepressants, and I'm starting to pick myself up and starting to feel a little bit better. And so it's taking a little while. I'm still extremely tired, plus my thyroid, because I wasn't taking any of my supplements and stuff, whatever, my thyroid's kind of been having issues as well. So doing my best to eat better and again get back to our regular healthy diet, and I'm taking my supplements, and so slowly but surely I'll get there. But the last couple weeks have been extremely hard and challenging, but
I've noticed a difference.
I'm sorry. But yeah, it's really scary, you guys, when you have had 12 years of infertility and the thought of going through, you know. So I was talking with my mom as well, and I told Blake this too. I've had people in the medical field tell me that it takes 7 years for your body to start to get back to normal after you've done IVF, because you're pumping your body so full of all of these hormones and everything that you go through, that it takes 7 years for your body to naturally get back to where it was, or where it should be, to get back to normal. And this September it will be 7 years since we have done IVF, and the thought of putting my body through this again, my body, my mind, everything, I am scared, because it really took a toll. So not only just physically, but emotionally, I'm scared. I am absolutely terrified.
But things will be all right. Yeah.
No matter what, you know, we've been through it before, and we'll get through it again. And I know I was able to get to a place where I had to be okay with accepting the fact that I would never be a mom. And so I've been able to do that before. It's really hard to suppress those desires and those wants so desperately to all of a sudden have those come flooding back and open those gates of hope and just all of these fears and anxieties and emotions, and, you know, open yourself up again to extreme heartache. It's really, really hard, but
But one thing that we, of course, always kind of have in mind, or we're always hopeful and things like that, is this sign we have behind us. One thing that, you know, always keep in mind is there will be miracles. Gotta believe in miracles and it'll happen.
We've already experienced some great miracles this year. Getting the grant, for one, was an unbelievable miracle. But yeah, when I saw this, I was like,
gotta have it. Yeah, something that, you know,
a daily reminder of
what we gotta look forward to.
Yep, you have to keep telling yourself, you know, we're not alone in this. I know there's a lot of you out there, but I also know that Heavenly Father is extremely aware of what we're going through and what we've been through. He knows the desires of our hearts, and I know this. I know this.
Gotta have the hope and believe.
Well,
and there will be miracles to come.
For me, it's learning to have faith in Him again as well. So there's been many times where all these 12 years prayed and had absolute faith that God would make it happen, and it didn't. And so I kind of stopped trusting or having faith in Him that He would make it happen.
Trials of your faith, yeah.
So I tell you, it's challenging in every aspect of your life. And so it's really taken a lot for me to build up my faith again and get that testimony in God and trust in Him again. So it's hard, but it's doable. But we just remind ourselves that there will be miracles. We've already experienced so many. And
waiting for more to come.
And celebrate the good things.
That's right.
Make a big deal out of the little things, because you have to celebrate the good things. That's what life is made up of, is good and bad. But to really make those happy, good memories really stick with you, we like to celebrate every little thing.
Every little thing.
So we do our best to do that.
What's next?
So that is our IVF update, along with a little bit of our, I don't know, emotions and what we've been experiencing lately. But things are getting better and looking up, and no, you're not alone. And we sure hope we're not alone on this journey right now too.
Anybody out there not
Oh
alone?
my gosh. No, we definitely, I can't tell you how much we appreciate the comments that you guys leave, the very supportive and uplifting comments. Can't even tell you how they fill our hearts and give us hope and encouragement. So we really, really appreciate that. So yeah, we'll leave you with that this time until next week.
We'll have a good week, and you guys have a good week as well.
If you guys like this video, please give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate your support, and hit the subscribe button, because keep up with our journey. So thanks, you guys. We'll see you later.